Greetings and salutations, I'm your quirky artist Hailey Mika. Yeah, so you read the title, so as promised, I did my Grace Kelly painting, which is up here, so Grace 2000. Imagining Grace Kelly if she was born in, if she was Y2K girl. Y2K, my goodness, Y2K girl, just like I was. So I was adolescent, I was a teenager in the early 2000s. So for this video, I'm gonna be talking about my experience of the year 2000. And I was, I think, so the 2000, I was 13, 14, 15 years old. So I'm gonna be just focusing on the first half of the 2000s, so 2000 to 2005, because the fashion did change, the music kind of changed just a little bit, but I really want to just focus on the early 2000 period, because if I focus on from 2000 to 2010, we are gonna be here for all day anyway, and this video is already long enough as it is. And also I need to mention that so in case you don't know, I was born and raised in Finland, in Helsinki, Finland. So my Y2K experience may be a little bit different from you, depending on where you were, if you were alive at that time. If you were, you know, like the things I'm referencing and the things I'm talking about here. But it may vary, because yeah, I was in Helsinki. If you were in, let's say, Berlin or London, you were maybe in Tokyo, you were maybe in New York or San Francisco or whatnot. So your experience might be a little bit different than mine. But I'm just trying to focus on the general stuff, like the popular stuff. That I got to experience when I was a teenager in the year 2000. So good times. And like I mentioned, so this is the smoky eye makeup that most of the celebrities they were wearing in the early 2000s. So this is a look, it has aged very well. So this is a look you can still do today. I remember when I first started seeing this look, it was with Pamela Anderson, Avril Lavigne, Paris Hilton, Xtina, Christina Aguilera, among others were wearing this look. So this was like my first introduction to this kind of smoky eye makeup. But yes, it has aged very well, so we can still wear this today. So it's very universal. So without further ado, let's get to the makeup. Let's jump right to it. I already did my brows, and I primed my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And no, I'm not plucking my brows, okay? I do remember at that time everybody had those very skinny brows. I did that, and thank God my brows, they grew back. So not doing that. And we are gonna start with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is not the Dipbrow, this is the waterproof creme color in jet, so gel liner. So I'm gonna start with that. So this look, I'm gonna make it a little bit intense, I think. My God, I was you got to understand, I was entering adolescence at that time, and as I mentioned, I'm gonna focus on the first 5 years of the year 2000, because otherwise we're gonna be here the whole day. So okay, I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna put it in the outer corner. So I'm gonna start building this little V thingy here, and I'm blending it as I go, okay? But yeah, it was a great time, honestly, especially like being a child, being a child and a teenager, no less. And then I'm blending it, okay? So like that was a great time. Like the music was great, the fashion was great, the movies were great. Like that's when we got all these like big franchises started coming out. But for me, those who know me know that music is so important to me. Like I cannot not live without music. So since the 90s was that very happy poppy pop music, so in the starting from 2000, I would say, we start getting more alternative music options. Like, okay, in the 90s we had pop music, and then we also had grunge. But so 2000, you got many alternative bands coming up. And also, so I'm gonna focus on the popular music. So the indie music, don't know much about that because I'm a very much like the Hot 100, whatever, that kind of girl. So I'm gonna focus on the popular music you would hear on the radio. However, like I said, there was like all these other bands, like so let's say the emo bands, the emo boy bands started coming up. Such as Limp Bizkit, come on, no, Linkin Park, we had Good Charlotte, we had Green Day. Does Evanescence, do they count? Panic at the Disco. So we got very much this kind of like, the guys were doing this kind of look as well, guys with the guy liner, okay. So we started getting that, but even the pop music was evolving, because so it like I mentioned Christina Aguilera, so this was very much the Xtina look in the early 2000s when she made Stripped album, and I honestly, that album has aged so well. And I gotta say that top with the chaps and everything, I wanted that look. I was like maybe 13, 14 years old. I wanted that look. I wish I had her body. I still do. I wish I had that body so I could wear that thing. But we had many artists who like they came out during this time and they made their best work in a way. Like Christina, she hasn't done much after that. I mean in terms of her music. So like the Strip, that was kinda it. Like she's still very much working and stuff like that, but Strip, like she peaked with Stripped. Same thing could be said for Avril Lavigne when she made I think it was Let Go, her Let Go album. So the same thing, like her first, I think it was her first album. So her first album, and then after that, like she's working and stuff like that, but that was basically it. And also Let Go album is fantastic. Okay, so to start with the silver color, so this is the Too Faced, they're like I think 20-year anniversary or something. So I'm gonna take this silver color right here and I'm gonna put it on the lid. My hands are clean, so I'm gonna start with that and put it on the moving lid. There we go. Same thing after Let Go. Avril Lavigne hasn't really done anything that has like really stood out, or like she hasn't topped herself, so to speak. But that album was fantastic, and especially as I mentioned, like me being a young teenager, so we had all these other artists like Britney, Beyonce, she went solo, left Destiny's Child, Kylie Minogue, obviously, Britney Spears. So we had all these other artists who were like these big stars, and then here comes Avril Lavigne, who was talking about like normal teenager stuff, like stuff that we were going through, like growing apart from your boyfriend or from your girlfriend, like friendship, dreams, hopes, heartache, failure, stuff like that, you know. So she felt like the kind of girl. Oh, next one. So I'm taking the black, this one, and putting it on top of the gel thing. So she was the kind of like, Britney was something you wanted to be, but you kind of knew that like you can't. But Avril was like, she is one of your buddies, and she just made it. So she was like really speaking to us. She was speaking our language, our teenage language. And also I already mentioned Kylie, need to bring her up again because she's my hero, like her Fever album, and obviously la 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 la. Fantastic, honestly, that from the music video, the hook of the song, the whole app, it's just phenomenal. Like for 1 year Kylie was ruling the planet. Like like if the Spice Girls, they were ruling the earth in the late 90s, then Kylie was ruling the earth with just that one single song. And the album as well, the album is great, the Fever album. I like the tour as well. So in my case, I'm like, if Fever has to be in my top 3 all-time favorite albums. I would say Lady Gaga's Born This Way is my all-time favorite album. Like, that album means so much to me. So I would say Fever is probably number 2, because also that album meant so much to me, and I still listen to that album. And also TATU, Tattoo, also their honestly, the album title is so long, like 200 kilometers in the wrong lane, something like that. So if you don't know TATU, the same thing, they were number 1 in around the globe for a very long time. Russian girl duo who were meant to be lesbians, and then it turned out that they actually weren't. And I was like, I remember I was so devastated. I was like, what, they're not gay? And I remember my best friend at the time and my other good friends, like, we were obsessed with TATU. Like, we really like loved these girls and loved that album and loved that music. So I would say that whatever on the Wrong Lane album would also be in my top 10, like, all-time favorite albums. It was a great time for music. Like, it was a great segue from all the poppy stuff in the late 90s and into the early 2000s, like the music we got. So now we go to the Naked Smokey Eye, which I actually used for the grace painting, and I cleaned this. So, and this is not that old, maybe 4 years old. That I need to mention, that your makeup, just especially this kind of dry stuff, they do stay for a long time. So if it's like it smells weird or something like that, then just chuck it. Otherwise, like, it looks good, it doesn't have any smells, like, you're good to go. Just clean it occasionally. So I'm gonna take this silver here. Yeah, so this goes right here. So now I need to mention sequences, rhinestones. It's like, here we go, I got my sequin dress on. It's actually getting very hot. So anything with sequences, rhinestones, that was a big thing. And it wasn't just clothing, it was on the earrings, the purses, the phone cases, like everything would be rhinestone covered. And it was fun, especially for us, like, teenagers who like that sort of thing. Like, that was so much fun. And also, like, need to mention the Playboy stuff. The Playboy bunny logo was so big, it was everywhere, even if, like, you wouldn't read Playboy, but you knew that bunny logo because it was so cute. And also the Juicy Couture. So this is not Juicy, this is Lipsy actually. Obviously I couldn't afford Juicy Couture, so I wasn't really into that. The only time I was actually really like, wow, this actually looks good, when Jennifer Lopez, when she made her I'm Real remix with Ja Rule, I think. That's a good song, that's a great song. So she's wearing the, I think it's for sure it's Juicy, the tracksuit with shorts, so not the pants. So that was quite good. And speaking of pants, the flare jeans, anybody remembers those, or any flare pants? I had those as well. I got a pair from Italy, a light denim, and I loved those, and I wore them like until they basically were in tatters. So now basically I'm quite done with the makeup. I just need to sort this out just a little bit, but I'm gonna get on. Forgot to highlight, so we are gonna go here. So gonna take this one high. I also used it for Grace's makeup. So just gonna do this quickly. There we go. So I'm gonna wash my hands and I'm gonna get on with the foundation. So I'll be right back. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury, the light foundation. So I feel like I'm slowly losing my tan, so I don't have to mix it with the Hollywood filter anymore. And now, so that was the fashion, that was the music, and also, yeah, quickly I need to mention the block. God, goodness, jeez, need to prime first. So this is the Meteorite base. This is the Guerlain, and I love this one. So yeah, I need to mention also the blockbusters, so the movies. So that's one, I would say that this, like the early 2000s. So yeah, this is where the movie franchises started to, you know, blossom. Like previously, you might have a sequel, but you wouldn't have these franchises. So we got Lord of the Rings, we got Pirates of the Caribbean, we got Harry Potter. Like we get all these big blockbusters, and I gotta say it was quite something to see the Lord of the Rings on the big screen when they came out the first time. And still, when they come out, I still wanna go. I mean, I wanna go and see them because I haven't seen them on the big screen since Return of the King. It was quite something, that Lord of the Rings mania. And also Star Wars, yes, Star Wars prequels, I mean, whatever you think about those, but it was great. It was great time to be alive. You have all these big franchises. And then we got to the big daddy himself, Nokia. Nokia was dominating the planet. It's like, that was like for us Finns, like we have Formula 1 drivers, and then we had Nokia. So we were very proud of that. Like everybody had Nokia phone, and the thing about that was that those phones were bloody amazing. Like obviously we didn't have like music on our phones, so we didn't need internet on our phones. That came in later. I got my Nokia N70 in 2006 when I went to Japan for a month. And that was like the first phone you could have music in. And I remember my Japanese host families, they were kind of like, wow, like we were on the train and I'm like, can I listen to my music for a while? And I would put on my headphones and just play music from my phone. So it was a big deal. And it also had I think the 3G network as well, so that was a big deal. Obviously, as I mentioned, we were so proud. Like it was a good, like, that's if people didn't know anything about Finland except Santa Claus, they knew Nokia. And still now people still mention it to me sometimes when they ask me like where you're from, and I'm like, I'm from Finland, and they're like, oh okay, yeah, Nokia, like very good. So good phones. So like I do enjoy that. So that was Nokia. And also the rise of the internet, you guys. When the internet came about and I really started using it, probably from 12 years onwards, I really did enjoy that. Like the internet was fun. And I would say it was kind of like a blessing as well, because I met some of my very good friends online. So if I was the lonely teenager in high school, I still had friends because of the internet, so I could make friends online. So that was great, and you got exposed to all these like wonderful things that you would have to read about before, but now they're available there. So like people who were like very worried about the internet and what it's gonna do to the children and whatnot, it's like, the internet was a great thing, and I'm still very happy that I got to be there when it was like really coming up. And then having said that, we also got reality TV. So before that, reality TV wasn't really a big thing. Talk shows, okay, fine, but like somebody to have their own reality TV show wasn't a thing until I guess Paris Hilton. She came up with Simple Life with Nicole Richie, so that was a thing. And then suddenly we get Survivor, we got Amazing Race, we got a Flavor of Love, as you guys remember that was crazy. And also we get Hell's Kitchen. So all these, like Hell's Kitchen especially, like you if you were not in the foodie scene, or if you were not into food and stuff like that, like you wouldn't know Gordon Ramsay until like they started making Hell's Kitchen. And now everybody knew who Gordon Ramsay was And I have been to Hell's Kitchen actually in Dubai. They opened Hell's Kitchen 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, they opened Hell's Kitchen 2 years ago in Dubai, and I went there. It was kind of like, I'm in the TV show. But yeah, the last thing I want to mention is the celebrity perfumes. It's like, my God, every celebrity, female celebrity in their mother had to have their own perfume empire and whatnot. This is my last celebrity perfume that I have, because I saw Hustlers when it came out in Connecticut, yeah, when it came out, and it was a movie theater at the mall, and they happened to have a perfume shop. I was so inspired by JLo and what else. I was like, I haven't had this perfume for so long, and this was actually my first perfume. Like, my father, he got tired of smelling my like Yves Rocher, is that how it's pronounced? Yves Rocher, those perfumes, and my Body Shop perfumes. He got tired of those, and he said like, Heini needs to have a real perfume. Well, we are gonna have to buy her a real perfume. He can't stand the smell anymore of the cheap stuff. So I got to choose my first perfume, and that was it. So next is the blush. So that's the Natasha Denona, the Bloom highlighting blush. And I'm gonna hurry up, because yeah, this video is getting very long. And you see, I haven't finished the eyes yet, because this is like what I do when I do my own makeup, is that I normally, when I do dark makeup like this, I do the eyes first, and then I do the skin, because if there's any fallout, I can still clean the skin after that. So that's why, like, I personally like to do the dark, any sort of dark eye look. I like to do the eyes first, and then I do the skin. And like now, I just finish it up. Like once it's done, I just put a little bit of black, and that's it. And obviously like, I wasn't sure if I should mention this, to be honest. I want to keep this a very happy video, like go back into my childhood memories and just be happy about it. But yeah, so need to mention 9/11. Unfortunately, that horrible tragedy, I can never say that word. Tragedy. Tragedy. That's the only way I can say it. Tragedy. That god-awful thing happened. 9/11, the two towers. That was completely unnecessary. God-awful thing that just god-awful. I remember, like, my parents, they were in the living room, like it was evening, watching the news, and they're like, oh my God, like this is happening, and telling me and my sister to come over and have a look. And I was like, I couldn't really like wrap my head around it. I was really like what, this is really happening? And I never really thought about America or New York and whatnot, so that wasn't like something I was very much interested in, even though I enjoyed the music and the movies. Yeah, I guess I understood the travesty of the whole thing, but I was just like too much in my own head and with my friends and stuff like that. And then later, like when more and more people started talking about it and how awful it was, it's like kind of it hit me like very slowly that this awful thing happened. And obviously, like many adults, then they said that the world really changed. So just want to pay respect to those people, and eventually, like once we start, like the things start loosening up here in New York, I definitely want to go and see the memorial and stuff like that. Okay, so now going back to the eyes, so I'm gonna go back to the Too Faced the palette. I'm gonna take the black one, and it's gonna go right under the eyes. But yeah, like as I said, music has been a very important part of my life, so that's why at that time I was really into the music scene. Like the movies were great, but I wasn't like a political person and stuff like that, so I just wanted to have fun, like just like being a teenager. So it's like the responsibility and whatnot, like you do want to be taken seriously and kind of seen as an adult, but you are still a very much teenager, so you just kind of, you want to do your own thing. And that's what I truly enjoy. But music was the thing that was always there for me, so I really love music. And I remember we would have this every once in a while. There was one nightclub in Helsinki that would do, like, we would call them juice disco. So basically there wouldn't be alcohol, so it was just basically water, juice and Coke, soft drinks. So we would go to those, and then we would dance to Hey Ya and La 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 and Shake That thing. So we would dance to all those things. So that was fantastic. So you think like you're so grown up and going to a nightclub and whatnot. And then I'm gonna do my usual lashes and I will be right back, okay? So that is the eyes, and in case you're wondering about the change of the light, is because the sun is coming out. I have to hurry up. I've been doing this for 1 hour now. Normally, like, my videos, even these makeup ones, they're like half an hour. I just like to talk about my childhood, okay? And especially the Y2K, like, that was a good time. Now I'm having a good time now as well, but I'm like, as a child and a teenager, it was fun. It's like all fun, no responsibility, no money, but no responsibility, okay? So for the lips, I'm gonna use, this is the Jeffree Star, the Velour liquid lip, and this is a birthday suit. There we go. And then to finish off the eyes, I'm gonna line the upper waterline and the lower waterline with the this is the Sephora, the 12, anyway, the 12-hour the contour pencil. So this is in black lace. And there we have it, your Y2K popular girl, popular celebrity makeup look. And I'm actually very happy how this turned out. I'm like, it's really like what you saw the celebrities wearing on the red carpet at that time. And if you want to make this even more dramatic, you can use red lipstick, okay? So that's kind of like on the emo side, but still very much early 2000s. So yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me through this long video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed me talking about my adolescence. For me, it was a good time anyway. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. So thank you for watching. Bye, ciao.